Hello.
Hi, how's it going?
How's it going?
Good.
Good. Good to meet you.
To meet you. You're the lady behind the ads, the actual person. That's cool.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah,
I typically take calls on like Tuesday, Thursdays. Um,
nice.
so yeah, happy to be chatting.
That's always fun to be the founder on a sales call. I know that feeling when you're like, hey, yeah, I'm the owner, so this is probably gonna be chill. I don't take many calls, so that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. And, I mean, part of our process too is well, I think it's still pretty advantageous to just kind of keep the marketing feedback loop nice
Hmm.
and wide and open
That makes sense.
and understand, the types of people that we get to chat with, like where are they at, what's their vibe, what do they need, where are they struggling. So like I get that type of feedback from the team, but
Yeah.
I'm also sometimes like, let me do it. And then on top of that, we don't have really a formal onboarding call structure either. These calls typically kind of service as something like that. So again, it's a good opportunity just to get to meet you. And if we work together, awesome. If not, no big deal either.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
But yeah, where are you based?
I'm in North Carolina. What
Okay.
about you?
I'm in Florida, Tampa.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah.
So it's not super cold down there, I'm assuming, yet. Colder
Honestly,
than
this
normal.
morning it is definitely chilly. But no, it's not. I was in Manhattan this weekend and it was
Oh,
like
cool.
20 degrees
Yeah,
and crazy.
it snowed here. So, yeah,
But yeah, it's nice.
nice.
Sweet. Well, I've got your application up. I've got
Sure.
your ad library up. I've got the site up. So I know that you're looking to get a little bit of help in the ad creative department around
Yeah.
general ads, the filming, the actors, editing, all that good stuff. Um, I guess in terms of how you guys are generating most of your leads right now, do they primarily come from Facebook or do they find you in other ways as
Yeah,
well?
that's a great question. And honestly, as you probably know, sometimes attribution can be messy, especially in B2B scenarios where they might see your ad and then search you later, and it's
Right.
like, was that organic or did they see our ad?
Yeah.
So I would say I've noticed that when we run ads, we get a lot more customers, and that
Hmm.
attribution is typically 50-50 on what I'm being told the attribution is.
Okay. And outside of Facebook, are you guys actively running ads on like
We
Google and
do
stuff?
have we do have like, 25 bucks a day on Google, something like that, something
Okay.
low. But our website is not like the strongest point. Typically, we try to be like a direct sale, like
Yeah,
get them on the phone and sell them pretty quick. So,
totally. I mean, I like all the before and afters that are on the site.
oh,
I thought
thank
that
you.
like actually getting to hear it,
Yeah,
it's cool that you guys are able to take that level of audio capture and really feel and hear the difference. Like that alone, I think is I whatever. I got some ad ideas myself, just like kind of
nice.
like having those even be like hooks of ads and stuff. There's probably a lot that you guys can do with those.
For sure. Yeah, and if only the owner was good in video editor, that would be ideal, but
Yeah,
he
yeah.
is not.
What is
So,
your primary role at the company?
So, as the founder and entrepreneur guy, obviously you have to kind of do everything to get it
Yeah.
started. And then once you start developing, so for me right now, I'm kind of really just acting as product lead and CEO,
Okay.
specifically like chief of staff. So I have like a director of operations and a director of technology, and then I'm the final like mix engineer. I'm also over sales and over marketing, but
Okay.
I'm not strong and I'm very weak in marketing and I'm actually decent in sales, but I think our marketing makes it hard sometimes because we'll like completely crush the sales call and then we'll get outbid. And it's like, you
Hmm.
know. So I would say sales marketing CEO, basically.
Cool. When it comes to the little budget that's rocking on Google and then like what you guys have rocking on Meta right
Yeah,
now, does a CMO take ownership on that management stuff or is
it's
that
all
all
me.
that's on
All
you?
me. Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about we can air quote it, but like what does your creative testing process look like right now?
This is a great question. And I'm going to be like honest, of course, and I know how these work. I'm basically giving you like ammo because like I'm literally like, I have a need and you fill the need. Like realistically for me, like creative, specifically creative, like whether that be posters, like reels on social media, VSL, me getting on camera, like that stuff and like editing, even editing the before and afters, like all that stuff is like a huge handicap. But if I
Mhm.
had that stuff, I would know how to implement it. Like I can do copy decently well. For some reason, I just feel like when it gets to anything visual, that's where I'm like very weak. And it's just because I don't have reps. It's almost like like almost fear to like do something when you're like, well, I can keep cycling what we have and keep making money, but I see the plateau fastly approaching. So that's where we are,
Okay.
which is literally what you guys do. So
Yeah, I mean, I like that you like copy. Like, I think that's a really killer skill set to have.
yeah,
My our whole thing is, well, wait a second, even if you're good at writing copy, we are too.
for
And
sure.
on top of
For
that,
sure.
we've got a lot of data. Like I'm always preaching on all the data intelligence that we've got. When we get a lot of exposure to so many different types of businesses, some
Hmm.
of which have massive, massive ad budgets on
Yeah.
Facebook and Instagram, and more specifically behind our ads.
Hmm.
I feel dumb if our team sits on our hands and like just leans on you for all the copy because sometimes, not saying this is you, but sometimes the copy's
Sure.
not good. Other times I'm like,
It's fine.
this is okay, but like, where are you getting these ideas from? I've got all this like killer direct response copy stuff that I know
Yeah.
converts. Like, so how do you feel in general about like collaborating or kind of having somebody else also own copy?
I I feel good about it. Um, and this feels like a non sequitur, feels like a very big non sequitur, but as you were talking, it just kind of like popped in my head of the copy stuff. So I'm sure like like your Alex Hermosi type of people and like all the stuff that's out there, especially on Instagram, like the mentorship, the coaching, like here's how to, do this. What I've noticed is the farther I go in that domain of learning, and then this relates to the copy, the more I see that I'm learning B2C type direct response and less of
Mm-hmm.
a B2B, which is what our business is.
Mm-hmm.
And often when I steer the ship in that way, it just gets people on the phone and then they don't have the authority power to make the decisions and it's kind of
Sure.
like low quality traffic. And so from a copy perspective, I've kind of been willing to understand that looking at clicks, looking at all these things, like doesn't really matter as much as like the actual sale. And
Right.
so my question would be like, does that make sense to you guys? And do you have experience like doing both?
Totally. And I feel like I don't know if you ever feel like you get challenged in saying that you're in a B2B space versus a B2C. I'd imagine with the guys that you're still chatting with, they still have a lot of those like obviously you're still talking to human beings. Human beings are
Right. Oh yeah,
emotional.
it's the same. It is one person. Yeah.
But I think like I would imagine some of these are you guys primarily going right for the pastor or like who do you talk to
Yeah,
first?
that's a wonderful question. So here's what I've noticed, and honestly, like your answer could probably be, well, listen, like the ads that will make you guys are going to target the right people. Like we're going to get the algorithm to target the correct people, but we get a wide variety. Oftentimes, it's not the pastor on the phone. It's literally like, oh, I'm the new like, worship leader, which is basically like the band leader, and I just
Right.
joined and I'm trying to figure out the market and trying to figure out how we can improve our sound or, it's sometimes it's the executive pastor. Typically those calls go very well for me. If I get on the phone with the pastor, I can typically
Okay.
sell them. But typically, I get a lot of like worship leaders, sound engineers, like people that are not the final decision maker.
Right.
It's very discouraging to try very hard to get people on the phone, and then they're like, "Yeah, that sounds great," and then it's like crickets. So
Right.
typically, that tells me there's someone else on their team that I did not do the pitch well enough for them to be a champion to sell the person on their team that shut it down. So
Sure. Yeah, that's fair. I think whether it's the pastor or it's that band leader and things, again, like I kind of go back to the naming convention of, well, is a pastor truly like another business owner? They are, and I'm not
For sure.
discrediting any of
No,
that,
no, no.
but I
I'm on.
still
I'm with you.
think just from a marketing standpoint and kind of like how things are positioned, how you light a fire under them to like get them to want to take action like now and all those urgency kind of, pulls that you're going to do,
Yeah.
you're going to teeter a little bit around, hey, think about your church like your business because it is, but also I'm
Right.
going to pull on all these other like emotional strings that maybe fall a little bit more in line with like a B2C pitch that will make both worlds come together pretty nicely and get get you in front of the right people, but also get the right people in the right mindset before they're getting the opportunity to like talk with you and your team.
Right. And oftentimes the reason why that's happening is because the pastor like is so out of touch with that stuff and they don't want to deal with it. So they have their smart people go do it. And
Right.
so what I've been told is Bam Fam, like, so I'm actually, funny enough, I'm actually going to Vegas in a couple days for like their
Nice.
like big thing. And it everything they say is like Bam Fam, like you have to book that second meeting from the meeting. Like you're
Right.
literally just giving them the quote and saying, "Nice talking to you," and then that's
Mhm.
it. And it's like that would make sense. Like I need to actually talk to somebody who's important.
Right.
And but of course, like the ad creative, what I've noticed, like as it relates to what you guys do, like just getting them to click and feel like it's credible is like gonna get you the most traffic in general and at least get the best targeting.
Something that I've been talking about and saying a lot recently is what that initial like handshake through the screen feels like. And if we can make that again, whether it's lighting that fire, it's getting them excited, it's making them feel a sense of trust and credibility and authority and friendliness. Like that's a big one too. It's just
Yeah.
like how do you feel after like watching this ad? And all those things 100% carry over to the rest of the process. And as much as we can make it crystal clear of like decision maker, like we can put all that good juicy stuff in a thank you page video for you if that's something that like you feel like you need eventually. But I think
Yeah.
low hanging fruit is going to be addressing
The
all
ads
things that's getting cycled super top of funnel
for
to that
sure.
cold traffic that's maybe never heard of you in the offer before and get them to obviously opt in, but like figure out what those additional next steps and stuff need to be from there.
Yeah, I fully agree, and I've even because I mean like one of the things like going through people like yourself to like go through like your sales process, it kind of like makes you think, oh, there's all these things I have not been doing that I know are important. Like you even had like the video that I have to watch once I book the call before I get on the call, and I'm like, I know that's important. Why did I not do that? And
Right.
like even just having a VSL on the booking page
Sure.
before they book the call. Like I have some random thing that some guy did on Fiverr and my assistant's like, "Bro, you need to be the one on that thing." I'm like, "Yeah, I should." But like I don't really need help with those because they have to be me in general.
I
So,
might
yeah.
at some point challenge you on that. And the reason I might challenge you is because we've got a lot of different personalities on our team.
Sure.
You've got the brand, you've got the personal brand, and I'm not going
Hmm.
to discredit any of that. But we've seen some guys with very massive personal brands and guys with much smaller kind of images and stuff still have that spokesperson
Yeah.
be in the VSL. We might throw up a quick image of you 6 times in that 5 minute VSL for them to grab you and know what you look like and who you are and why I can edify you in these different ways to get them to feel like, whoa, if I get access to Max, like that's going to be pretty cool.
That makes sense.
And we can remove you a little bit. And my first point was around like the personality testing. I always liked and I feel more confident starting with all things top of funnel ads first before
Yes.
I said to you, hey, let's build you a VSL and a thank you page video and all that type of stuff because I need to validate a little bit more of that top of funnel messaging that I
Right.
know is working. But also, I've got to figure out who these ideal pastors are relating with best on our team. We've got 30 different people for on camera talent. They all look different, they
Nice.
sound
Nice.
different, they have very different vibes.
That must be nice. That's awesome.
And at the end of the day, like I've got to see which of them are going to be the best
Yeah.
for I mean, we just got to look at the data,
Yeah,
and all that's going to steer us, in the right directions from there.
sure.
Something that I'm sorry, I'm like sick today, so if I keep
Oh man, so sorry. That
sounding
sucks.
gross. What was I saying? Oh, something that I filmed yesterday was a it's going to be a waiting room Zoom video. So
Oh,
if
that's cool.
if you were waiting in this Zoom waiting room for 2 minutes before me or somebody on my team
Yep.
jumped on the call, similarly to what's in my thank you page video or like confirm call video that I sent you last night, it's just going to give you that much more case studies and credibility and like kind of like hype you up for the call even more.
I
I've
love that.
seen
That's so
I, I've
cool.
seen a couple sales guys in the space that are like saying they're really, really good. I like how it turned out yesterday. So, anyways, I'm excited to like
Zoom lets you do that.
mhm.
That is sick. Is that new?
I think it's just for people that well, A, you've got to be paying Zoom a bunch of money a month for them to like allow for that.
Yep.
The other annoying thing that I've like thrown on my editing team's radar is that the file size needs to be like super compressed.
Oh,
I'm
that's
like,
lame. So it's like low quality,
well, I hope it's not. But
lower
I
quality.
I have a feeling it might have to be a little bit poor. They also have a way to just have an image of you with your logo or like a little banner and stuff if you wanted to start with that. Like Max is going to be jumping on the call in a sec. And then, like, again, you have some bullet points on you
That's
and like your
really
experience
cool.
and stuff.
I feel
But
like that, like, I don't know, that like sends a very good impression, I would say.
I think
Yeah.
so too. Again, I'll let you know how it goes over for our team, but I'm
Yeah. You
excited.
have to let me know. I'll book another call just so I can see it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Um, okay, sweet. What else do you want to throw on my radar that like would be valuable for me to know about?
Yeah.
I guess
We're
like
in a
what were you gonna say?
no, you can go.
I guess my question is the biggest lift you're trying to see around like a time saving standpoint of like I don't want to put time into filming these things that I don't even love the output and like quality of,
Yeah. Okay, I got you. I got you. I see where you're
or
or
is it mostly a results thing? Like, are you not happy with how your ads are performing right now? Like, what's our
this
baseline?
this is a great question. Very, very good question. So I'll give you a background, and what I was gonna say before is like it's kind of a chicken and the egg issue where like our sales have been dropping, and I know that we're not doing enough creative. We're not even running enough ads. We're also not doing enough creative. I know that that much is true.
Mm-hmm.
I also know that I don't feel comfortable spending more on ads, running more creative, unless our sales process is like super dialed in.
Okay.
And that includes our website, because in a B2B scenario, obviously they're going to do all this research and be like, well, who are these random guys of the internet? You know, it's really hard to just get that direct sale. Like for you, it's like in a B2C scenario, I shouldn't say you, I should say businesses like yourself that I've encountered, it's different just selling to a person. Like they almost, a lot of people won't do their research. They won't be like, is this VSL queen like legit? It's like, oh yeah, this person's on Instagram. They have all this proof. Like really enjoyed the sales call. Bam. And for a church, it's like, yeah, cool. Really enjoyed talking to this random guy off Instagram. Let's
Mm-hmm.
go look them up and see what they actually do in the real world. And I feel
Sure.
like that's working against us if we don't have a good website. And so I did hire an agency to build out a website, but I have to like take it across the finish line because there's a lot of placeholders because it was more of a design project than like a full on like go get me the creative to put on it.
Yeah.
And doing the website, working on getting sales better, but at the same time, I know that we are not doing enough creative. And every time I like sit down in a video editor, I'm like, I do not like this does not feel right for me to be
Right.
sitting here doing this. And so I've kind of been looking for someone in-house to hire, like was going to do Fiverr, but then I got your ad. I've seen your ad like multiple times, but I'm pretty wary to click on any Instagram ads just because I know the game. Yeah, just
Yeah.
being honest, like I just understand, but I'm like, ah, what the heck? Like this is
Yeah.
like my pain point. Like let's just do it. You know, a late night binge. So
I get it. I
yeah.
think I think some of the other kind of solutions out there that you just called out my experience from other business owners that we now make creatives for on a monthly
Yeah.
cadence, they'll have tried the Fiverr thing.
Yeah.
They'll have maybe brought somebody even in internally. But overall, I think that there are time and time again still gaps in the entire process. So, our team wanting to step in and take that end to end ownership, you're not having to strategize these ads if you don't really want to be part of that. You don't have to script. You're
Hmm.
not going to have to handhold the creator that you do hire in order to go off and film the ad off Fiverr.
So you are going to script
We will, yeah.
based off of data from the
Based off
company.
of a brain dump that you give us in an
Sweet.
initial intake form. You're
Well,
basically
good
going
for
to
me.
say,
I
hey,
already made
Emily,
one of those.
you already have an intake form?
So I don't know if you follow like Hermosi's or whatever, but they did this like AI thing where like
Yeah.
if you buy like their big bundle, they give you access to the AI. And one of the
Right.
activities like was this massive intake form that you
Okay.
can basically send the AI every time you ask it a question. It's like, well, I already have that built out. So
Great.
easy.
So our questions in our intake form are probably going to be very similar, if not identical, to like what's essentially you've already are always feeding that
Yeah,
AI. So we take that brain dump and kindly ask you to leave us alone for a few days while we
sure.
get
Yeah,
into the lab and end up presenting you with a couple scripts. Um, and yeah, I mean, all those scripts are going to be based on all this data that we've got, and um, truly us just feeling really, really confident in what we would initially want to throw at it.
nice.
And then from there, yeah, you're not going to be in the mix on like instructing the actor or actress on like how to film. You're not going to get raws back that you're kind of like, oh shoot, they really missed the mark on like how they said this certain word. Their tonality just felt off. Like this kind of feels like how I judge my own raws. Like I'm
Mhm.
speaking from like a you perspective. Like
Yep.
I I know sometimes you like look back at a raw and you're like, oh my God, this is rough. Like I don't even want to
Terrible.
put
Yeah.
this into editing. And then on top of that, like if you were to go Fiverr or internal route, you're still going to have that gap for like needing a good editor too. So
Yeah.
if the one-stop shop model makes sense for you, I mean that is exactly where we typically fit in. You going to Hermosi's event in a couple days is kind of funny because I don't know if you've seen this ad, but I literally have an ad that opens with a hook of you just got back from a Alex Hermosi event and I don't think I say you feel like crap, but I basically allude to that. You
Mm.
feel like you were the only guy in the room, and all Alex is preaching is the best advertisers test 11 times more ads. And you're sitting here and you haven't like launched a new creative and God only knows how long. And
That's
anyways,
awesome.
we we um we kind of know Hermosi, a lot of our clients have either been to his events or in some of his higher level stuff and all that good stuff. So anyways, if slash when we work together, it would be it'll all pad in nicely. It'd be fun to get out ahead of it before you attend the event. Like, hey, I have 20 ads literally getting delivered to me next week. So
Uh, That's what they're, I
touche.
feel like that's what they're gonna say because it's actually their L2 thing, and so there's this massive like intake, and I'm like, I could probably have saved myself some cash just being like, bro, you gotta do like media, you gotta do videos. That's like what you're not doing.
That's all Facebook is these days too. Like
Yeah.
I'm not even going to throw rocks at you getting a new site and stuff built, but I am so confident with so many different businesses that we talk to
Right.
that are like, "Oh, we're doing a rebrand. Oh, we're modifying the way we go out for an in-home quote right now and we're like modifying the sales process. Oh, we're doing this. We're testing with this lead aggregator, blah 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 blah." And it's like, wait, let's go a little broader here right now and like let's just start with that very first thing that the person sees, because sometimes I feel like when you shake the room a little too much and you don't have as many controls in place, it's almost harder to just identify like what is actually working now versus like what has maybe messed things up. And yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
yeah, it's fun.
that's awesome. No, I'm excited. That's really cool.
Cool. So I guess from a process standpoint on our end, I don't want to sound like a broken record. If you've watched
You're
videos
not.
and stuff, do you have like a decent understanding of kind of how we work, or do you want me to walk you through that?
Based on what you said today, I kind of understand. I had just some like general curious questions about not necessarily the process, because like obviously like as an owner, like I get it. Like you guys are going to be a one-stop shop. You're going to do an intake and you're going to send me X number of videos and there's going to be X number of dollars associated with that, some form or fashion that I'd obviously you're prepared to tell me. And for me, the thing that caught my eye that I was curious about was the 2 points. One of them was about how you guys have data, like we have data and that
Yeah.
makes good VSLs and like
Right.
kind of like the extent to which that is true.
Mhm.
Because one of the things like as an entrepreneur, you probably understand like there's a lot of figuring things out yourself. And then there gets to be a point where you're like, I don't really want to figure things out myself anymore
Yeah,
because
give me the
there's
shortcut.
too many things to figure out by yourself. You
Yep.
need help. And so figuring out scripting and media, I'm like, I feel like I need to outsource that because I need to learn how to be a CEO. I need to learn how to be a people leader right now. Um, and the other thing was you said something about female-led VSLs, and I just thought
Mhm.
that was very interesting for a business that clearly is not like you're not targeting necessarily targeting female entrepreneurs. You're targeting everyone. And
Right.
I was just more curious about that, like
Let's hit
especially
that
how
point
that would
first.
apply in our context.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, if the average ideal cream of the crop pastor that you're looking to speak to first
Hmm.
is a 40 to 60-year-old white male, just that's
Sure,
going to be what I throw at you.
it is.
I'm probably going to want to understand, hey, I think that there's a scenario where another 40 to 60-year-old white male is going to resonate well with that pastor. But I also think casting the ad with a 40 to 60-year-old gal who in a weird kind of way might look like his or his wife.
I see what you're saying.
It's not rocket science that like gal to gal talk typically goes over really, really nicely in ads. So to your point, oh, you're talking to the female founder, another female being in the ad, it's a win-win. But the exact same thing goes for if I'm trying to talk to another agency bro. And that stereotypical agency bro is a 28-year-old hustler in Miami. I might not want to put another 28-year-old or even 48-year-old guy to speak to that 28-year-old agency bro. And so our whole message is women in ads converts better. That's my pitch. That's the whole thing I like the hill I die on. However, we've also got some really fantastic talent on the team that are men, and these men get really, really great results depending on the offer. So for somebody like you, and if we take a stab at getting you some new personalities in the ads to just basically see what's converting best, I'm probably going to want to test with that like look-alike pastor. And then I've got a lot of other women on the team that I would feel equally confident having them be the on-camera talent. Because again, it's not rocket science, but I'm pretty confident that they would probably end up converting better than you
Yeah,
or um
I yeah, I no, I completely understand. I was more just curious than anything if that was like your story. Like if you're like females convert better on ads. I'm like curious. Why is that? How is that?
yeah.
Like
So
how would
so
you know?
my
Because
story
can I
was that my husband is an agency owner as well. He had filmed all of his own ads. I came in and just literally took his winning script, and I ultimately got a better results by being in that winning ad. So yeah,
that
that's the premise of it.
and the reason I ask as far as like for our thing, like and like not being like this is not me being trying to be sexist or anything, like just
Yeah.
being like my own perception. Audio engineering and audio engineers historically a male-dominated field. And
Mhm.
so pastors are going to be used to talking to like AV specialists and typically male-dominated field. And so
Okay.
I'm just wondering how that would, because it might be whatever data you guys have gathered, it might be like it's just a fact. Females convert better, or it actually just might be like, oh, this is new. Like I'm used to seeing all of these like try hard engineers, all of them have beards and they're all look the same and look this Emperor Audio looks very different, like very different branding. I
Right.
was just more curious than anything about that.
Yeah, yeah. And a lot of it is like we kind of won't know until we actually get in there. We look at the data and we decide from there
Because
without
there's
being
some
emotional
branding.
or like opinionated on some of this stuff. I
There's a
just am gonna
statement.
what'd you say?
There's a statement that goes with that. Like I foresee like once we like if we were to move forward and do this, Emperor Audio would definitely make a statement by having female VSLs is
Yeah,
what I'll
yeah.
tell you. Like
Yeah.
it would be like, oh, there's that company that's hiring a bunch of random women to do his ads. And it's like, if it works, it works.
Yeah.
But I also know the market. Like I just know the market. I know what the ads look like, and I know
Right.
that this would be very unique, extremely unique.
Yep.
So
Sweet. And then on the data piece, we we actively have hundreds, if not thousands, of active ads live in a lot of different businesses' accounts. On the
sweet.
daily, on the weekly, on the monthly,
So you
we
know
are
what works.
getting updates as to how these ads are performing. That's the
Genius.
data that I'm referring to. I mean, we've got, I'll show you my screen really fast. We've got this channel as one quick example of where some data lives. And we see why is ad number 4 the clear winner here? Um, why why are his leads setting at a 50% rate off of ice cold traffic on Facebook? What about the ads right now is clearly converting? How did we cut these people's lead costs from $110 down to $30 to $50 with the videos that we're rocking with right now? Which ad here generated a $30,000 sale? Oh, ad number 10? Okay, great. So when you come to us and say, hey, Emily, go spin up some new ads for me based on data, this is all the kind of nerdy data
Yeah.
that we're excited about.
You have a Slack channel with all this really cool stuff. That's great. Yeah.
um, but no, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like we've got to keep that feedback loop wide open, and all those things help us to feel, super confident in
Right.
what we've got.
That's really cool.
But yeah, I guess from a process standpoint on our end, I already mentioned intake form. You'd approve those scripts. We would go off. We'll film the ads. We'll get that really good edit on them. Give you basically a Google Drive folder, and one folder says final ads. The other folder is going to say raws. You're going to get lifetime access to both. The
Hmm.
idea of the whole like turnkey 7 business day turnaround approach is that
Yeah.
you're getting ready to launch, ready to rock ads in about a week.
Yeah.
And then we look at
That's
the
nice.
ad performance data alongside you to determine what's obviously converting. And then we leverage that data going into subsequent batches of ads.
Okay.
Those
Yeah.
subsequent batches are typically delivered on a monthly cadence. We do have some clients that get ads like every 2 weeks from our team, but I think everything that we should talk about for at least this really good uplift in just getting fresh, like done for you ads, I would recommend we start on that kind of monthly model.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I assume this is where people ask about pricing.
Yeah. So what we need to decide on would be really just the amount of net new video ads that you're going to want to have every month.
So the way and like you have your packages and stuff. Obviously, I've already thought through this a little bit. I would prefer to start small and ramp up as proof, and it's less proof on, I mean, obviously there's some proof on you guys' end of like, okay, their ads are doing well
Yeah.
and they're paying for them to do future ads. It's like they're kind of like, like worst case, like let's say you did like one ad and that one ad gave me a 5x return. It's like, well, with that 5x return, we can do five more ads and then that's,
Right.
25. Like obviously I would want to start as close to there as possible
Yeah.
because it's so new. Like the worst thing would be spending money to get the ads done, spending money to launch the ads and not getting good results because of something unrelated or related. So, but obviously, like continuing to feed the fire if the fire's doing well. That's
I
how I
agree.
would see it.
If you're so it sounds to me like you're trying to crawl, walk, run here, want to validate some stuff,
Yeah,
get some good results, and then figure out where you want to go from there.
for
We
sure.
have our two smallest ad packages is getting 4 videos made every month
Hmm.
and 6 videos made every month. The
And
main
then
differentiator,
what are your big ones? How high do you guys
we
typically
make
go?
some clients as many as 40 ads every two
40
weeks
every 2 weeks. Okay, so there's a lot of room to
to really scale it up.
because
Um,
I believe one or two would even get us out of this slump. But at the same
I
time,
agree,
yeah,
but we don't have as much confidence just sitting here and giving you 2 ads and saying it's gonna be a makeover. Like
I
I,
agree.
at the end of the day, volume does negate some of the luck, and
Indeed, it does.
minimally,
Good quote.
I'm gonna want to get you at
Yeah,
least
I agree. No, I mean, I wasn't saying I would rather do two. I'm saying I know that anything is better than nothing right now where we
yeah.
are.
I get that.
Yeah.
I would the main differentiator between the 4 ads monthly and the 6 ads is that the 6 pack we would actually split it among 2 creators. So we would
Okay.
3 and 3 get you maybe a guy and a gal would
That
probably
makes sense.
my initial plan of attack. And
Smart.
then the 4 pack will get you one person. You can
Brilliant.
change the person each month, but again, so much of it is going to be dependent on the data that we see. If we
And I'm
love the
assuming
results
a
we're
lot of
getting
people choose
from,
the six because of that fact of having two people. Would that be correct?
you said what about choosing the
I
six?
feel like most people choose the six. Am I correct?
Yeah, and then if they're considering the 6, then I might say actually the 10 or the 20 pack might be better, for whatever
That's
reasons.
smart.
So, but
Yeah.
so for numbers' sake, the the agreements and the terms are over a 3 month contract. We structure it month by month, kind of cancel anytime thereafter. If you started with a 6 and wanted to ascend into a 10 in month 2 or 3, I'm obviously not going to stop you from doing something like that. The 6 ads monthly is 3,500 a month. The 4 pack is 2,800 monthly.
You said 3,600?
35 and 28.
I'm sorry, I'm getting old. Can't remember stuff. Okay,
No, you're
cool.
fine.
28 for the 4 pack, and that's 2,800 a month for 4 videos.
Correct. That comes out, if you're running numbers, it's roughly 700 a video. And then the 6 pack comes out to, I think, 583 a video. So the deal there is for 700 or 800 more dollars. You're basically getting an additional 2 videos, and you would get 2 people in the content each
So
month.
here's my question. If I wanted to start with the 2,800 for 4 videos, would I be able to say, "Hey, it's January, things are picking up. Can we
Yeah.
increase?"
Yeah,
Like
yeah. So month
mid-contract.
two,
Obviously, I'd be locked into at least four for 3 months. I know that.
exactly.
Cool. Yeah, because the weird thing, um, which I don't know if this is true for every business, but for ours it's true, is Christmas is coming up and they don't want to
Yeah,
make people don't want to make changes
sure.
because it's Christmas. And so like it's just a very slow month. And so my aggression on advertising would be very unwise to start right now, but getting the pixel warmed up for January is also brilliant to do.
Yeah, I mean, I've been challenging people left and right on like people aren't making decisions in December,
Right.
slow season, all that type of stuff. On the flip, it is a mindset of just like getting prepped for a really strong like Jan 1, like let's rock and roll vibe and like have these ads humming. But obviously up to you in terms
Cool.
of what makes most sense.
Sure. I like what I'm hearing. I have kind of like an assistant business partner type person that's really like an employee, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to run all decisions so that we can make those decisions together. And this is something I would want to run by her and see.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
But at the same time, I'm interested. So let
Okay.
me know how that works.
We communicate inside of Slack. So if you gave
Oh,
us green light on like the 4 ads, I would basically just send you that first month
oh,
payment. We
really?
process right on Stripe. Once that's handled on your
Easy.
end, I would get you into Slack, and then we would have you fill out that quick intake form, and then be able to,
Love
hit the
it.
button.
It's not terribly priced. So I'm assuming that once you guys go up to like 10 videos and 20 videos, the price per video goes down.
It
Would I be
does. It's
correct? Yeah.
4,800 for the 10 ads monthly, and it's 7,800 for the 20 ads per month.
Nice. I'm sure we'll be there soon. But
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking at this in inside of an ad budget. Like if I were to say my ad budget was like 8 grand, then I could justify 28 grand being to you guys and then obviously make the most out of the remaining ads. And so it's just ad budget. And then obviously once we get to spending a lot more per day, then that would go up a lot. So
Exactly.
yeah. No, this is great.
Okay.
I'm
Sweet.
I'm totally interested. I just want to run it by her and see.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. When you say like, okay, this is my objection handling, but when you say I'm running it by her, what will that conversation entail? Like what's
Yeah,
the
great question. I'm gonna say, hey, I found someone to do our videos and it's gonna cost us like 2,800 a month. And here's their website. Do you have any objections with this person being over our brand? Um, and she might be like, because like she's definitely like in like the church space and has a lot of opinions on that stuff.
yeah,
And it might be like, oh my God, like just being honest, like these guys look like Instagram scam type people. That's not who you want on your brand. It's like
yeah.
or it might be like, honestly, I trust you. We'll just figure it out. So, I
Cool.
mean, I'm totally down because I think that that's overthinking it a bit. I think it'll be fine. Um, I don't have an intention of getting on camera and recording a bunch of these right now.
Yeah.
I would rather just pay someone to do it while we have the budget. So,
Cool. I like it.
yeah,
Um, I've got another call to jump into now, but
sure, that's fine.
is this a
Send me
combo?
whatever.
What'd you say?
Send me whatever.
Well, I don't really have anything, I
Oh,
guess, else to send at this stage. Are you
the
like,
payment
what's your
link.
timeline look like? Are you chatting with her today?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Why don't you just shoot me a text after you guys sync and let me know if she has any major concerns or needs to see anything else
Yeah.
from us?
Smart.
Okay,
Yeah. Cool.
I like it.
No. Yeah,
Well,
me too. It's good.
good to meet you, and yeah, I'll keep an eye out for your text.
That's the number you texted me from.
Yeah, the number I texted you from last night is
Cool.
my that's my cell.
Cool. Awesome.
Sweet. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, looking forward to it.
Thanks, Emily.
All
See
right,
ya.
I'll see you. Bye.
Bye.